I swear, man, people on Twitter be saying dumb shit. I seen this one tweet. The dude said, I've been watching wrestling for the past 49 years. So that means that the Bucks and the Briscoes and FTR are the best tag team in the world because of that fact. What the fuck does that mean, bro? Okay, so that means that the Briscoes were wrestling 49 years ago. So that means that the Bucks were wrestling 49 years ago. Like, that makes no sense. Wrestling has evolved since the Stone Ages, which was damn near 50 years ago. It's like tag team wrestling has evolved since then. So that fact is pretty much irrelevant. Listen, now, I ain't gonna front. I've said these things in terms of, yeah, I've been watching this product since 1992, but when I say those things, it's because I'm trying to convince you that I know what the crowd wants. I know who's over and I know who's not over, right? I don't say, oh, I think The Rock is the best of all time because I've been watching since this year or something. Or I think Triple H is the best because I've been watching since 1992. Like, that makes no sense. Listen, when I try to predict where a storyline is going, that's based on years of experience on watching professional wrestling. That's what I mean by I've been watching it since 1992 in terms of when a challenger stands over a champion and he holds the belt up in the air and the dumbass announcer say, could this be the scene next week? I'm like, okay, you are saying that he's going to lose, right? That's what I mean when I say I've been watching for a very, very long time. It's because I know all the algorithms. I know where this story is heading. When a challenger beats up a champion and he stands over him, that means he's going to lose next week. That's what that means. That's the algorithm. So when I say I've been watching since 1992, it's because I've seen that scene multiple times, so I have experience on where is this story heading. But I would never say, oh, this tag team is the best because I've been watching for the past 20 some years. Yeah, that makes no sense. There's no logic. So the point is, look, man, y'all gotta accept the fact that the Usos are the best tag team in the whole entire world, and it's not close. It's not close, just dog. Just accept it. You the twos, we the ones. Just accept it. Everybody in all elite wrestling are the twos, and we are the ones. PWI said it, right? PWI, they crowned the Usos as the ones, literally. You know why? Because they finally got something right. They rewarded work ethic. Listen, PWI, they took into consideration work ethic. How many times are you on TV? Do you have compelling storylines? Are you putting on good matches? And most importantly, are you working multiple times a month? And are you consistent? That does not sound like FTR or the fucking Briscoes at this point in time. So yes, they got it right. It's all about work ethic. How often are you on television? Are you champions of the company you are signed to? And have you been for a very long time? There's a reason why the WWF calls the Bloodline the best faction of all time. How can we argue that at this point? Roman, he's going on damn near 3 fucking years. The Usos have been champions for the past, a full year. 1 year and some change. They have broken all the records. So yes, we gotta go on body of work and consistency. For the past 7 years, the Usos, along with the New Day, have been the most consistent tag team in the whole entire world. What about FTR? They are the definition of hot and cold, stop and start pushes. 1 minute, they are hot for like 2 months, and then Tony Khan, he cools them off. Why is that? Can you honestly say that the Usos has ever been cooled off? No. They are always in a tag team title picture. All the time, literally. They are always in the tag team title picture. They might be the most consistent tag team of all time. They never fall off. They are never hot or cold. Dog, FTR are not even the most over tag team in their own fucking company. That title belongs to Caster and Bowens. All I see are people trying to scissor. What is FTR known for? What, good matches? The fuck? See, I'm happy PWI has put all the smart marks in their fucking place. It's not all about the fucking work rate. Fuck work rate. That's not what it's all about. Who has the most compelling storyline in all of pro wrestling right now as we speak? It's the fucking Bloodline and Sami Zayn. Who is involved in that? Jey Uso. Jey Uso might be the most underrated wrestler right now. But the point is, I think FTR is kind of overrated. Really, what have they done this year that you could say they are very consistent? There was a point in time where last year they was barely on TV. Ask Jim Cornette. He was the main one complaining, where is FTR? How come they have a stop and start push? Hell, he was trying to throw the Young Bucks under the fucking bus, claiming they were trying to bury FTR. That's what I mean by they have been inconsistent. And every time they do win the AEW tag team titles, they never hold it for a long time. They hold it for like 5 minutes, then they lose it. So that's what I mean by they are not consistent. And when it comes to the Briscoes, look, man, nobody knows who the fuck they are. So who cares? From a mainstream point of view, nobody knows who the Briscoes are. Listen, I am a fan of the Briscoes. I am a fan of Jay and Mark. But they are not better than the Usos. And when it comes to FTR proved they're not better than the Usos back in their own company. When they were on Raw and SmackDown, they never proved they were better than the Usos. Hence why they had to leave. Right? The point I'm trying to make is, what has FTR done? Nobody gives a fuck about matches. Have they been involved in a compelling storyline like Caster and Bowens? I can think on the top of my head about the storylines that Caster and Bowens have been involved in. Keith Lee and Swerve, that was a good storyline. The fucking Gun Club, that was a good storyline. The fact that Billy Gunn chose Caster and Bowens over his sons, that was great storytelling. See? That's my point. That was a great storyline that still to this day we talk about. The fact that Billy Gunn chose those two other guys as his boys and not his own sons, that was a great storyline. Has FTR been in a compelling storyline for all year long? No, they have not. Do you remember a compelling storyline that FTR has been in? No, all I see is, oh, they had such a good match. Oh, Dax had a good match with fucking Daniel Bryan. Oh, what's his name? Cash Wheeler had a good match with CM Junk or something. Like, bro, that's all y'all care about? And most of the time, they are losing when they do wrestle singles. So the point is, they are not consistent. What have they been known for this year? Do you remember a good match? Do you remember a storyline? No. When it comes to the Usos, I remember everything they have done this year. They are, right now, they are the total package. They put on good matches. They put on good stories. That's what I look for, and I look for work ethic. They check all the boxes. Look, nobody cares about how FTR has multiple tag team titles outside of All Elite Wrestling. Based on that fact, that makes them disqualified from being called the best in the world. Because at the end of the day, your main company is All Elite Wrestling. And how come you're not a champion for that brand as we speak? How come y'all haven't been champion for that brand for a very, very long time? See what I'm saying? That means you are overrated. Nobody gives a fuck about you as the IWGP Tag Team titles. Nobody watches nobody watches New Japan. I don't. And I think they are the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Yes, nobody cares. Look, here's why they are the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. It's because legally, Tony Khan can't sign the fucking Briscoe brothers. I don't know why, but look, they are tag team champions for a dead company without a fucking TV deal. If they are the best, how come they are not the tag team champions in All Elite Wrestling? And when they do hold those titles, they never hold it for a long time. Nobody cares about the IWGP tag titles or the Ring of Honor tag team titles, bro. The hell? Dog, they don't have a tag team division. Look, can you name a Ring of Honor tag team right now as we speak? No, you cannot. Like, huh? Of course not. They have no tag team division. So who's their competition? Right? They are tag team champions for a worthless dead company. And the only reason Tony Khan gave them those titles was to shut them up. Right? Listen, the only reason FTR are the IWGP Tag Team Champions is because of politics. They won those titles at Forbidden Door, I think, right? So, do you remember how they won those tag team titles? Do you remember a feud that led to them winning those tag team titles? That was a random match. They have no story. Every title they win, it has no story behind it. With Caster and Bowens, there was a story there. With the Usos, there was a story there on why they won those tag team titles, what led up to them winning those tag team titles. Like I said, when it came to All Elite Wrestling, Forbidden Door, that was politics. When it came to New Japan, they bent over backwards and got fucked by All Elite Wrestling in that show. All of those guys lost, bro. The majority of all the guys from New Japan lost. Like I said, both those titles mean shit. The ROH title means shit. Those IWGP tag team titles don't mean shit. Nobody watches that company, so nobody gives a fuck that you are champions of New Japan. Nobody cares. So where's your proof that they are the best in the world? Don't get me started on the Usos versus the fucking Street Profits. Are you serious? Both those matches alone, all those matches they had with the fucking Profits were way better than all of FTR's matches this year. Facts. So, hell, I don't think FTR are better than the fucking Street Profits. Shit. Where is your proof? Look. When it comes to the Usos, look it up. They have wrestled the most matches out of any wrestler this year. Out of any tag team, out of any guy who wrestles singles. Look it up. Go on Google right now. The Usos, they have wrestled the most matches out of anybody in all elite wrestling. They wrestle the most. They have been carrying the fucking bloodline. Hence why Roman don't gotta be on these shows every week. Right? When Roman ain't there, the Usos are carrying the bloodline. So, look, every time I watch Raw, the Usos are wrestling. Every time I watch SmackDown, the Usos are wrestling. That's called work ethic. FTR, they wrestle what, maybe once a week? Fuck that. I'll focus on work ethic. How often are you working? Do you put people over? Do you tell stories? Jey Uso tells stories. For example, I think 2 weeks ago, Jey Uso lost to Kevin Owens in the fucking main event. It don't matter that he lost, but his loss is going to tell a bigger story down the line. We all know that. That's called storytelling. He tells stories. That's called storytelling, bitch. All his matches lead to a storyline. All his wins, all his losses leads to bigger stories down the line. I can't say it about Dax or Cash, can you know? What? They wrestle for fucking pride. Yeah, they have good matches, but do they lead to storylines? No. Wrestling is about storytelling, not all about the matches. Nobody gives a fuck. Look, man, the only thing that FTR is fucking known about this year was teaming up with CM Junk when he got injured. Other than that, I do not remember anything of value from FTR this year. Nothing. Look, Max Caster and Bowens. They have been better than FTR. You know why? They are over. We remember everything they say and they do. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I'm giving you evidence and proof FTR are not the best. They have no evidence. They are tag team champions of worthless companies that nobody gives a flying fuck about. New Japan has been dead since Kenny Omega left. Tell me I'm lying. Hell, I think Kenny Omega said it. He said that Will Ospreay hasn't done shit for that company since he left. Which is facts. Yeah, that's really facts to me. What has Jay White and Will Ospreay done for New Japan that Omega didn't do? Nothing. Omega put that company on his back for 2-3 years. But ever since he left, that's a dead company. Nobody cares. The fact that why is New Japan just handing over the IWGP tag team titles to a tag team that's not signed with them? But the point is, FTR has every tag team title that doesn't have AEW's name on it, you are disqualified because of that fact. Right? That's like saying, what if the Usos were the NXT Tag Team Champions for like a whole year? Would you call them the best? No. Because that's not the main roster. That's not the big leagues. Being champions of Raw and SmackDown for a whole year, that's big time. That's the big leagues. These guys, every week, are working. Every fucking week. That's work ethic. Listen, when the Usos are not wrestling on Raw and SmackDown, guess what they're doing? They are wrestling after the fucking show's over. They wrestle dark matches. They wrestle house shows. These guys are the most hard-working tag team maybe of all time. These guys are always working every fucking week. Hence why you are tired of seeing the New Day versus the Usos, because they always wrestle every fucking week. That's called work ethic. That's what PWI gave them. They gave them work ethic. That's why they are number one. They have quality, work ethic, better matches, better storylines. That's what this boils down to. Better storylines. Nobody cares about Dex Hardwood putting on 5-star matches. Are you kidding me, man? I don't care. Who cares about 5-star, 4-star matches that nobody gives a fuck about? I don't care about that. We care about Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso. That's what we care about. That shit. We care about whether or not is Sami Zayn going to turn on the fucking bloodline and side with Kevin Owens. Is FTR in that kind of storyline? Hell no. Oh, that's what I mean. Nobody talks about them outside of their matches. We talk about Sami Zayn in a fucking bloodline when they are not even wrestling. That's called compelling storytelling that FTR doesn't know what to do with. That's what I mean. Like I said, man, they are not the most over tag team in their own fucking company. They are not more over than Caster and fucking Bowens. And that's sad. Shit, that's fucking sad. That's what I mean. So, fuck all that bullshit saying, oh, I've been watching for 49, 50 years. Man, fuck you. Nobody cares about that. Okay, do you want a fucking cookie? Wrestling has evolved since the 80s and the 70s. Tag team wrestling, look, when it comes to the 80s, I watched 80s wrestling. And tag team wrestling was not better in the fucking 80s. I watched it. It was not better. Gets more athletic. Better stories are being told every year. From a quality standpoint, tag team wrestling has evolved for 49 some years, bitch. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That'll make you a fucking expert. That's stupid. That's like the definition of narcissism. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck how long you've been watching a fucking product. That don't mean shit. So by that logic, it's like, I've been watching since the fucking 80s, right? So that means Roman is not the best because I watched Hulk Hogan, right? I watched Savage. I watched Ric Flair. So that means Roman ain't the best. I'm like, that's stupid logic. That's fucking dumb. That don't make you the gospel. How long you've been watching, so that means when you say the Bucks are the best in the world, I gotta take you seriously? That's like fucking the definition of an egomaniac, bro. Hold your fucking dick. Like the fuck, huh? It's like, get a fucking life, man. It ain't that serious. I focus on what's happening now. What I'm seeing now, the Usos are the best in the world. They wrestle multiple times a week, more than anybody else. They lose, they win, but at the end of the day, they always retain those titles. Something that FTR doesn't do. Like, that makes no sense. Imagine calling yourself the best tag team in the world and you have been the tag team champions of your main company in months. Make that make sense. The Usos been champion for both brands for a whole year and you're saying they are not the best? Dude, like, the fucking cope with this topic is just crazy. Somebody said that the Usos have multiple DUIs, which means they can't be called the best in the world. Okay, by that logic, we can't call Kurt Angle a fucking legend. By that logic, we can't call Shawn Michaels a fucking legend. We can't call Randy Orton a fucking legend. That makes zero sense. What does DUIs have to do with them as a tag team? Because every time they show up, they always show out. Every time they show up, they always put on the best matches. But that's stupid. That's dumb as hell, bro. Okay, by your logic, we can't call Jeff Hardy a legend. We can't call Matt Hardy a legend. We can't call the Hardy Boys legends because they had drug problems, right? Let's be fair. Let's call a spade, right? You're gonna throw the Usos under the fucking bus because they got DUIs. Well, the fucking Hardy Boy says, hold my fucking beer and don't let me drive. That's what they are saying. I'm like, huh? It's like the fucking Hardy Boys are the OG Usos. Like, huh? They were the Usos before the Usos. And I don't hear nobody throwing them under the bus. It's like, I don't get it. That makes no sense. They got DUI, so that means they are not the best in the world. You can't call them that. You're saying, it's like you're saying other wrestlers have not been on drugs or had DUIs either. So they can't be called the best. It's like that. Fans of professional wrestling are fucking stupid. But at the end of the day, just man up and just throw up the ones. Because that's what we are. We are the ones. When it comes to the Briscoes and FTR, look, man, they are the twos. We are the ones. Day one-ish. Just face facts. We are the ones. Throw your fucking one up in the fucking air, man. We have to reward work ethic. That's what the Usos define. They define work ethic. They are the fucking Iron Man of the WWF. They have been carrying this company for the past 2 years with Roman Reigns. You can't say that about FTR. FTR, they are hot and cold. Tony Khan cools them off, and he makes them hot, and then he cools them off. It's a fucking seesaw, bro. They're not even on the fucking video game. So let that sink in. They're not on the fucking AW fucking video game. So come on, man. There's too much evidence that says they are not the best. The best in the world are the Usos, and when it comes to PWI, they finally got something right. You have to reward work ethic. You have to reward who's on TV the most, who has the most matches, who's putting that work in, who is winning the most titles, and for how long. Bruh, none of y'all can't even remember who the FTR beat for those titles. Bruh, when it comes to FTR, they beat I think Jeff Cobb and some other guy for those IWGP Tag Team titles. And guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody remembers. Dog, All we care about, are you the tag team titles for AEW? Nope. So you are disqualified. That's all I'm saying. It's like, who has held those titles for the past couple of months? It's been what? I think the Jurassic Express, Strickland, and Swerve. And I think the Bucks, right? The Bucks won those titles. So that being said, FTR has not won those AEW tag team titles for a very, very long time. So what are we talking about here? It's not all about the matches. It's about everything else, which they don't have. So at the end of the day, we are the ones. Throw your fucking one up in the fucking air. I'm done.